Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Component Cast's coverage of the Elendor Chronicles. Before we get on with tonight's broadcast, of course, we have a few things that we need to cover. The first of which being is, if you want to support this broadcast, you can do so by becoming one of our wonderful Twitch subs or joining us on Patreon. Patreon gives us the biggest slice of the pie and helps us create more wonderful shows. But by no means do feel like you have to financially contribute to the show. You can also contribute by doing some really simple, absolutely free things. One of which is being our soundtrack. You can find our soundtrack anywhere where you can get your streamed music from. Give it a listen. That helps support us, and you can use it free of charge in any of your campaigns. We won't claim royalties or anything of the sort. If anyone tries to claim royalties, get in contact with us, because that's a no-no. Hasn't happened yet, but there are some weird people out there. Second thing you can do is also like and share the broadcasts, and leaving a comment on our shorts if you ever see them, or sharing a short you find fun. All of those sort of things, they are the best way you can help us continue to do what we do. Anyway, I'm not going to hold us on for too much longer. Let us get on with tonight's episode. Welcome back. So, before we get on with tonight's show, I have to give you guys the chance to win some inspiration. And today's question is going to be a very simple one, in my humble opinion. What race is the namesake character of the land that you are currently in?
What race is the namesake
Nard fell with
character?
an elf.
Yes.
Correct. There you go. That's your group inspiration. Use it if you feel fit. Right. Let us recap, shall we? Last time, or in this last period, this last arc, our brave adventurers have been trying to prevent the toppling of Nardathel's High King. There is an assassination attempt and a coup that they have uncovered whilst tracking down denizens of another plane. More precisely, they travelled all the way to some layers of the abyss in which some Nullian worshippers, one of the great banished gods, were hiding out and using as a base to incur upon the Nardathel region, bringing with them a great plague that was slowly breaking down the fabric and order of society, a society already drained by war. But after putting a dampener into the plans of our Nullian enemy, our party set about trying to undo this plot that they uncovered by capturing a not very good assassin, who revealed that his party were just one element hired to cause chaos. And chaos and deception is just a throughput of what is being chased after, if that makes sense. There are lots of mini plots looking to destabilize the realm, but this seems to be the biggest. Upon revealing this information to the High King himself, he ordered a lockdown of the great citadel of Gervalu, in which only the most required and also most notable figures of Nardathelian society remain. And we have been under a strict 3-day investigation. You have 3 days before it might be too late to catch the perpetrators. Our brave adventurers have done very, very well, however, at continuing this investigation, using various skills and logic to slowly close a trap on the hidden foes, who have only grown more bold as they see their time is running out. You helped prevent the assassination of the heir elect, the heir apparent of the realm, who was protected by Lord Valymr. We also had Breton very, very quickly uncover clues as they discovered a hidden message used in some simmer bronze by quenching it in oils in the crown smithy, and also finding where dead drops had been taking place from of this mysterious poison that was being used to carry out the assassinations. But the true investigation was abruptly halted on the discovery of yet more bodies and also the disappearance of the Queen Consort, who you found a hidden portal in the chambers of, which you progressed through, thinking the perpetrator may have gone through it, or perhaps they'd taken the Queen Consort herself through them. You were taken to this underwater crypt, in which fell within the castle realms, but was unknown to anyone that you talked to, and hadn't come up in any of your investigations so far. It looked like someone had been here recently, though, with wet footprints on the ground. You travelled through before you found a room with a sarcophagus, and upon opening it, the room began to fill with water, and a hand burst forth from the water. So, we had you roll initiative at the end of last session. Please, but if you would like to open the, what did I say, water crypt battle map? I think, yes, I set this one up for the... I was trying to remember where I set up the battle map screen for when we're doing when we've got you guys around. Okay, so we have the water crypt battle map. Let me just change the music here.
I will say my initiative should be 5 higher because of proximity to Breton.
Correct?
If you're more than 10 feet away from me, then you do not get that bonus.
Correct.
I am 10 feet away, and right?
You are 15 feet away.
Not anymore.
So I don't know if we were surrounding this first. I don't think we realized the crypt was this big. I need to remove Death Ward from Ruby because that was the day before.
Yes, so do any quick setup you need to. Valymr, I don't know that you were directly next to Breton.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I will say that you were the one that went up to this first, I believe.
I was the one that opened it.
Yeah, Breton went up and opened it. To be fair, actually, I think Ruby should also be closer to the door as well then.
So the door is in the south.
Yes, the door is the south side.
Okay.
So I'll let you guys set up, remove any anything you need to, and let me know when you are done. I will let you guys, Ruby and Valymr, you can go anywhere on like this line. Here, so I will allow it, Valymr, if you want to move along. We are going to be starting on the monster's turn though, because while it didn't surprise you, it took the first action. Well, actually no. Roll a d20. Breton, roll a d20 because you have a weapon of warning.
Okay. It is weird that since we can't be surprised, it hasn't managed to take the first action.
that's very true. You can't be surprised. So nope. It's your go. So we'll be starting at the top of the initiative order. So yeah, are you guys going to be as is here?
Yeah, because remember, all that had happened so far was that its hand was coming out of the water.
Yes.
Its hand was visible, and
Right, we're gonna chop it off.
I know what my brain wants to do, but I would feel really bad if I just take this encounter and I turn it into a scene from like Bounty Hunters.
I'm okay, but right. Is everybody set? Everybody set? Because I need to narrate some things.
We're good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Brent just closed it. All right, well, nothing to see here.
So
Ta-da.
as the arm bursts out of the thick black water, the water begins to spill over the crypt and fill the room around you. You also notice, I'm going to say Ruby notices this, the door that you entered from, the opening where the ill-hinged door was, a shimmer of purple. Shimmer of purple magic overtakes it. The water is also rapidly rising. You would say that there is at least an inch of water that now already covers this entire room. But Breton, it is your turn.
So I'm gonna do what I wanted to do just because I think it'll be useful, but it'll also be funny. Can Breton just make an attempt to grab the hand?
Oh, absolutely. Throw me an athletics check.
That's a 33.
You absolutely grab that arm.
He is going to step away from the sarcophagus and just rip her out of the water.
Sure, you do that. Okay. Breton, you pull, and it is just this blue, drained looking, elongated features, but kind of looks... So there's this blue form that is just like elongated features and almost looks like a drowned corpse, but there's an etherealness to it. Something shimmering, something not quite right. And the jaw kind of just unhinged, and as it bursts through the water as you're pulling it, it is just screaming and you are hit with a cone. All magical items on your body are currently nullified.
Okay.
As this black ink of light is just emitting from its mouth in front of you and enrapturing you at 60 foot. So any magical items on you are currently nullified. This is an anti-magic cone.
So I didn't have the animated shield out, which is fine because it's not going to be useful right now anyways. My armor is +1.
Your armor is now
so my armor is no longer is just sorry. We actually have to do math on this because that changes my AC and stuff. All right, let's just take my.
Yes, this is gonna be. You might require a pen and paper today, ladies and gentlemen, as you need to on the fly work out if your stuff works or not.
Or remove Ring of Protection because Ring of Protection does not matter. Aura of Protection is not technically a magical effect, so that should still apply. But my armor is now 1 lower than it. Okay. We may just have to keep up with that mentally. That's fine. Cool.
You guys have got a lot of magical shit and magical abilities. It might be a. That's what I say. It's gonna be finger math on this one. But yeah, you've pulled it through, and there's just this like constant noise as well as it. Not
so
instinct
there is like his armor just stops glowing, so it becomes immediately obvious his armor is no longer magical. Correct. So I imagine his second action after just pulling her out of the water is to try and clamp a hand on her face and just shove her to the ground.
Oh no! I thought you were gonna try and put her back.
I don't think trying to drown her under the water would be a very effective strategy. No, he's just going to clamp a hand on her face and just shove her face to the ground and try and just shove her prone. So at the very least, he's directing this beam towards himself, so they're fine.
Sure.
This is how Breton casts silence.
I had a really dark joke that I will say after this broadcast.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now everyone is like
I'll make a
thinking the worst. The
Sure.
absolute
second athletics check, because that is
Oh,
what we do for this. That's a natural 1. It's a 15 still, though.
Yeah. Technically, I need to make a save against it.
I was like, we had inspiration. I don't know if this is what we want to use our inspiration on, though.
Earn it right off the bat, first roll of the game, yeah.
Breton, I will say that something feels really odd about this creature. Like its physique feels like it's made of like plasticine. There's like a give to it, but not like it doesn't feel like flesh either.
Sorry, I had to look up the word plasticine because that's not an American thing.
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh. Okay. That's where my thought went, but I had to double check to make sure.
It rolled a natural 13, which put it at a 17. So
Okay, so I don't.
it doesn't go to the ground.
Alright. Sure.
Not be in base-to-base contact with Breton though. If he's.
I dragged it out of the water, but yeah.
Yes, I'll move her.
Corrections, if I'm trying to get the mechanics right. Is she considered restrained because she's being held by him?
She is grappled, not restrained.
She's grappled.
That's what the second attempt was to try and.
I was trying to shove her prone, yeah. But I did not succeed in that because I botched my strength roll. First time this campaign, I think. That's fine. That's Breton's
all of the
turn.
magic around you going. Okay.
Turns out Breton's
Ruby.
strength is just magic after all.
Well, it's really unfortunate you didn't restrain it because I was going to do a thing after this. All right.
I mean, you're the one who argued. No, this isn't worth using inspiration for.
I didn't say anything. It's just. Does she look familiar at all?
She looks like a lot of the statues that you've been walking past.
Okay. There's still water coming out of the crypt?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, rapidly. Like, I would say that by the next turnaround, you would need to be essentially where you are to be out of slow-moving water.
She is going to look towards Valymr and Breton. You handle that, I'll handle this. She's going to go over to the door that is shimmering with the wall of purple force and try to figure out what the heck is going on with that.
Sure. Make an Arcana check.
Sure. $21.
Yeah, it seems the door has been replaced and magically sealed with some sort of anti-material field, anti-magical field.
Anti-magic? So
so what's it called?
A wall of force?
Like a wall of force, yeah.
Is it a wall of force or is it like a wall of force? That's a very good distinction. I'm sorry, Mitch.
Yep, no, very, very much so. Give me a moment. You would say with that spell, with that check, it looks like a wall of force.
Excellent. Both hands are going to extend out, one towards the door, one towards the creature. She's going to yell, Valymr! As she is going to twin cast Disintegrate, one at the door and one at the critter.
Sure. Double check you have the sorcery points for that because you spent loads to get spell slots back.
Yep, I have 8. Okay. Disintegrate. Okay, here we go. Or incinerate in my case, but
yeah.
She fails.
She does. So roll damage. Ooh.
That's 80 points of damage.
Of course, because you add. You
Well,
can't
ones
roll
become
ones.
twos.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see the wall in front of you and like burn as you hit it with the fire, and it starts to buckle and shatter. It's broken, but it's where you've hit it. It's like there's enough at the bottom that the water isn't rushing out.
Okay. That is my turn. I think I've got an exit.
Valymr?
So let's try and put this thing on the ground. We are going to hit it with Muglaive.
Sure.
Do we still do the thing where if you're on the other side you get advantage?
Yes, but you would have to be stepping into the big pool of water to get flanking. You'd have to go up
Solidly
into.
fuck that.
You'd have to
No,
go
no,
into the crypt.
Yeah, we're
So-
fine. We don't need advantage. We don't need to target. Clear all targets. There we go. All right. We hit, and we're going to throw upon it a Eldritch Smite.
Sure.
And
Didn't you cast that ahead of time?
No.
No. That's
Also,
Brandon's
I
plan.
think you just knocked yourself prone.
true.
You need her targeted for that.
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Hold on, I've removed prone for you because it will add disadvantage to any attacks that you roll. So I'll remove that now.
Thank you. All right. Damage is 14, partially resisted. What the hell? And also, it takes that damage, and it is.
What
prone.
type of damage is that? Because it's going through as untyped.
Eldritch
Eldritch Smite should be force.
Is yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, you might need to add the damage type to that because it's currently type untyped, so it doesn't read any of the resistances on the creatures that you're using it on. So be aware.
Okie dokie. Sorry.
Right.
So it is now upon the floor, and we're going to hit it again. I don't know why I got 3 dice there.
Did you take Elven? You took Elven accuracy.
Oh yeah, so I did. Huh, cool. And then we're doing some more damage. Another 12 damage.
Cool.
And that is my turn.
Very nice. Fantastic. Breton, you see this grapple creature in front of you just leave your hands.
Okay.
As she teleports away and teleports behind you.
Okay.
Something Shindaru.
Nothing personnel, kid. Oh dear, I'm in an anti-magic field.
Wah! And there is just like a screaming noise leaving this as the anti-magic cone covers all of you. All magical items are dispelled on you, so take that into account. If you have any magical effects going, also dispelled. She is then going to attack you, Breton, with her claws. Oh, bollocks. That was a natural 20 I dropped because there's a freaking prone on her, which she is no longer. Damn it.
I think, isn't it control, and then when you roll a dice, it'll...
No, I've removed prone from her now. But no, it's fine. We take the 13. 21 doesn't hit you now, does it, Breton?
No, a 21 does hit me because I don't have my ring of protection, and my armor is not magical.
I like to imagine she was crawling on the ground almost like a spider.
And she makes her second attack. An 18 misses.
Question,
yes.
Mitch. I had my blindfold on.
Yeah, you are just you can't see.
What do I see right now?
You can't. Yeah, you can't right now.
Cool.
You will need to lift the blindfold. You see cloth, and you feel the feeling of water rushing around you.
Oh yeah, your manta ray don't work here either.
Fun. Why did you have to remind me of this?
Gotta play fair to everybody.
Yeah, it's very fair. Right, that's her turn. So, at the bottom of the order, top of the order, shall we say, the water continues to rise really, really rapidly. Anything that is lower than the bottom step of the pedestal you guys see, and below, is technically difficult terrain, as there is a full 5 foot of water in there, actually now.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it 4.5 probably? If you were a small creature, you would be swimming.
Shit, that's filling fast.
Yeah. And it is also, it's pitch dark. You cannot see the floor. The water is almost like black ink. Breton, your turn.
So she teleported.
She did.
But then I felt where she attacked from.
Yep. And you can hear her screaming. You can hear her screaming.
Yeah, so I know where she is.
She is making a lot of racket, yes.
Considering what she's already shown us, I can tell that it's wherever she's looking that she is creating this anti-magic cone.
Correct.
So, considering I know where Valymr is as well, Breton is going to just take 2. Is just going to step along the steps here.
Yep.
And when he starts to glow again, the second he starts to glow again, she's about to meet them all.
Yeah, go for it. Yep, that hits.
Breton has saved all but 2 spell slots, all but 2. He has spent all but 2 spell slots today. He saved 2 4th levels just in case something like this happened. So a 4th level spell slot on this is going to be used for a Divine Smite.
Hell yeah.
With his first hit.
Ouch.
37 down to resisted, 31 points of damage to her. We're going to go for the second one with Damal. An 18 hits. This one's just a natural for 12 points of damage. And then, very appropriately, he's going to use his Father's Sword on this one. We're going to just say Ensign is going to take a swing on this as the bonus action. Not secret. 10 more points of damage.
Damn, that's a good amount of damage.
Breton tries to drown this lady in radiant energies. That is Breton's turn.
Breton, make a quick perception check for me while you're making
Sure.
your hits.
Light is back. We can see.
Yeah.
Perception. 19.
It didn't seem like the radiance was as effective as you think it would be if she was, say, undead. And when you were hitting her with your hammer, she felt like that doughy. There was give to it, but not like it wasn't like hitting a corpse. It was like hitting clay.
Sure.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Sure.
I didn't actually think she was undead, but it's still weird to hear it.
She very much looks undead. She looks like some sort of drowned zombie-esque, elongated features creature. Once human. Ruby, your turn.
She's gonna get out of the water and fly. Her wings are gonna bonus action. She's gonna
Bonus action, pop the wings.
Are your wings magical?
Ooh.
Yeah, actually.
I think you need to, you need to.
Ruby is a sorceress, therefore
So
her entire
remember
being
that's
and her
double
blood is
movement.
magical.
So be
So-
10, 20.
What here?
So be 10, 25. So yeah, you can get to there.
Bonus
And then
action,
fly from there.
Yeah.
Fly from there.
Just,
So,
just don't fly too high, because she looks at you again.
well, she's getting out of the water is the idea.
Yep.
Um,
Well, I mean, you're
And
still
as
in.
she's going-
Oh no, you're still in water there. Sorry, I was doing it demarked by
Oh,
the
she's-
cone. That's what I'm saying. It's on the. So you'd have to go up. So, hang on. You were here.
here.
One.
Yeah, here.
You were there.
Oh, sorry, it was one over. Because you had to move through one square to get to the stairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh.
Then I guess I'll be heading that.
So you'd have to head here to get wings because the
Yeah.
water isn't as deep on the stair. So
Out of
there,
the line of sight.
wings, and then boom.
Well, the goal wasn't to get out of the water to get the wings. The goal was to get out of the magic cone to get the wings.
Yeah, that's
and
the
you can
goal.
just fly over the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if she just went directly that way, she'd still be in water, and then that would have taken her too much movement to be able to get. This uses less movement to get over to here to be able to fly up. Then, otherwise, she'd get out the cone and then not be able to fly anywhere because she was out of movement.
Either way, she's gonna get out of the water, jump up, bonus action. The wings are gonna pop out. She's gonna get above it, and
Yep.
her right hand's gonna throw out a chromatic orb.
Go for it. That's
And
a
it'll-
miss.
Sail harmlessly by.
It immediately reminds us you didn't use your bonus action last turn to direct your fire.
It would have.
Because you cast.
Yeah.
It would have hit Valymr.
Valymr. Gonna go.
Which means that was a twin 6-level spell. That's 12 points of damage to him. Reduce.
Unless that bonus action did set them off to nowhere.
You gotta remember those abilities.
Yes. Sorry. This one will sail off harmlessly. She is gonna let the fire go off wherever.
You should just use your bonus action
You've
on this
used your
one. So
bonus action, so you can't.
You're right. I can't. There's nobody nearby. It's
Yeah.
gonna sail off harmlessly regardless.
does it not hit you if you don't direct it?
5 feet in any direction.
Okay, that your turn.
That is my turn.
Valymr. You can't see. You are currently blinded. You hear running water run around your
10 feet in
ankles.
What I assume sounds like somebody like trying to dig clay out with a hammer.
Yes.
So
What would you like to do?
we established that when I take off the blindfold, it takes some time for the vision to come back.
Other way round. Taking off is fine. Putting back on is when it takes, because you have to adjust to being blind again.
Uh-huh. Still, I think he would not want to go down the stairs at all, because he knows water down there, not a fan. And he'd want to try and get away from the screaming. Because obviously I can hear where it's coming from. So he's going to have his hands on the side of this big pool of water thingy and skirt his way around until he gets to here. And then he's going to move to there. Like, kind of
Feeling the edge.
getting out of the screaming, and then his vision will come back from the blindfold.
Yes.
And I got
That is
10
putting
more.
you up on the edge of the water ring.
Can I
by the
go
way.
to there then?
Yes.
And then with the remaining 10 feet of movement, he's gonna go here.
Yes.
And from here, he is going to do something he has had the ability to do for a while, but has not. And he's going to cast Hold Person upon Drowned Lady.
Okay.
So that is a Wisdom save DC 18. And it fails.
It has no effect.
Motherfucker.
This creature does not count as a humanoid.
Well, it's unfortunate. Alright, bonus action. I am going to Hexblade's Curse upon Mrs. Drownedness.
Yep.
And that's the end of my turn.
At the start of her turn, Breton, you see this. Her head just snaps unhinged and just turns rapidly without the body having to face.
Mm-hmm.
Valymr, your vision goes dark again. Ruby, your wings dissipate, and you.
I was actually going to ask a really awkward question there. So, this is an important because she is not up on the high level of the crypt. She is down below it.
You're thinking, can she see over?
Can she see through it, or does it matter if she has to see them or not? Because if it's vision based, then if she can't see them because can't look through the crypt, then they're not visible. Depending, I guess, how high up Ruby is flying at the moment.
It's also a case of then any vision-based things that were just done to her would. So Ruby would be visible because she's flying, for sure. It's just Valymr. Is the things that you have just done, are they vision-based?
I would have to.
Do you need to see your target for?
Well, Valymr also could have done it from up on the crypt where he was looking over it. He stepped down a lower level out of view. If we want to make that easier.
See. I will say I would have seen her with blind sight, if that makes any difference. But the way I was imagining, how tall is this like pool in front?
That is an important distinction. Is like how high up do these steps go, and then how high up is the crypt in the middle of them?
Each up is 5, so it's at least it's 15 essentially. It's 15 because and then it's down from there because it's a layer and then it's like flat layer, so it's pooling down.
Because at one point he did step over the crypt to get to the other side, so he would have been able to see her before he finished moving. But then he finished his movement out of sight. Just for simplification processes, obviously, because it didn't have any effect regardless, but it keeps things moving smoothly.
No, it's
this
true.
hurts me to make this point, but also she's screaming. It's sound goes around corners as well. I kind of feel like
that's why I'm trying to establish: is
So
it based on what she can see or what she's screaming at?
So the screaming is a causal effect of the cone. It's technically a sight-based thing. So Blake is correct to bring this up.
I'm Blake. I'm the technical guy.
No, it's correct. So it would be targets that can see.
I DM for a living, and I notice these things constantly.
I would say that Valymr, you're currently unaffected, and so is Ruby. But if they go up and out, they will be affected. So it's brought Ruby down, but currently they're in cover from it.
What does it look like? So if I look up, then I can.
You see like a black ink.
Black ink. So I don't want to go. Okay, so I'm thinking I don't want to go in the black ink.
Well,
fair enough.
I was going to tell you. Then would she even bother looking at them, or would she just stare at Breton? Because Breton is right there on her.
I think it's because Ruby did slightly more damage.
Sure.
She was targeting Ruby mostly, so. So, Beth, just in case you didn't hear that, you have been flighted, but now you're technically
I heard
in
it.
cover from her. Cool. And she's still going to make those claw attacks at you now, Breton.
Sure.
Which are going to be impossible to hit because you are back and big old defendable. So, boom.
Yeah. So my AC is currently
She missed.
well higher than those.
Higher than both of those. Fantastic. The water level continues to rise, and now all but the very, very center is in water. Technically, Breton, you and her are swimming. Well, you are. You're wearing heavy armor, so no, you might be under the water right now, Breton.
I mean, Breton's height is taller than the center crypt in.
You're taller than 15?
Well, he's standing on the bottom stair,
So
he's only 10 feet down from the crypt. Sorry, no math. So
How tall are you?
I guess if if it is up to the, because he's 7'7", so he would be.
Yes, so it's just over your head.
Okay, so he is underwater right now.
Yes,
all right.
because it's like the level of the crypt is now like the top level of the crypt, so 15 feet up is where the water is.
Sure.
So everyone is in water.
So
She is
everyone's
floating.
underwater.
You guys have been brought up. You are now, because she can see you again, levels wise, you are now in the
Sure.
anti-magic. Valymr, you go blind, and your swim
Blind
speed is-
underwater.
and you don't have heavy enough armor to not float. You also in a your the manta ray doesn't work right now, so we might need to do a wisdom save when it gets to your turn.
You think she's the one screaming?
Out screamer, Breton, it's your go. You're underwater.
Yeah, we're underwater.
You could see her legs, probably.
She is not quite close to dead yet, and that is part of the problem. I can still move underwater. That's not a big deal. Like I'm close enough to the ground where I can just walk underwater. It's still going to be slow, but I can do that. She can teleport, so then holding on to her is not going to make much difference. Swinging at her is going to be a disadvantage.
Ruby, make me a perception check quickly.
That is all that we really can do at the moment. That is a huge shame. We're going to try...
17.
Thank you.
I should just steer the crypt, it doesn't matter. Gotta make a decision about something here. Yeah, we're going to snap decision. We're gonna try and grab her again.
Go for it.
Grabbing is not technically yet penalized underwater,
Nope.
so we'll just make that athletics check. It's a 28.
Yeah, she can't beat that, so...
So Breton is going to do what he thinks is the best here. He's going to grab her. I'll go ahead and take my second attack. It's going to be at disadvantage because I'm swinging them all underwater, and that's not a very effective thing to do.
Yep.
I drop a 19. That is the native thing. It's fine. He is going to literally pull her down under the water, and he is going to hold her lower than the crypt so she cannot see the other side of it.
Sure. You can absolutely do that.
Yeah, he's going to basically move to here, and he's going to try and drag her 2 spaces south too, and just basically keep her out of sight of them so they can try and come up with something.
I would say you can only drag her one down to one before that, because you're dragging while swimming in water in heavy plate, which would already be a disadvantage. So I'd say that movement-wise, you'd be cutting movement and movement.
Well, all right. If it takes me a movement to move her, fine.
Yeah, so she's here, but if you two are currently not in the cone because it's being blocked.
Bonus action, he is going to use a Harness Divine Power and expend his Channel Divinity to get back a 3rd level spell slot.
Hell yeah, go for it.
But that is Breton's turn.
Great turn. Ruby.
Effectively holding his breath now, by the way, which is...
Oh yeah, we'll dealing with that.
Is the
Ruby.
water not
This is what the perception was
Oh.
for. Where you've destroyed half of the barrier, the water seems to be now flowing out of the room as it's reached the top of the barrier that's still there, and is pouring through it. Meaning you assess that you don't think the water level is going to get higher unless the rest of the place fills up.
Okay. Then she's going to try to keep assisting Breton in destroying this thing before it continues to cause problems.
Okay.
She's going to fly to her current location that I marked.
As I know,
and
as well, you can't see either of them.
it's fair enough.
Because the water can't be seen through. And it is also, Breton's no longer glowing. So, boom, you swim out of the cone. You feel, you already were out the cone because the shape's gone. You currently can't see them. You just know they're under the water somewhere over there. Because you heard splashing and, like...
I can't see them, but do I have an indication of... Because they're basically on top of each other, aren't they?
Fair enough. There's a... You...
Or the reason I'm asking is, if I drop an AoE, am I going to hit both of them? Or can I steer it closer towards one side so it can hit one but not the other?
Make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay. I dropped a natural 20.
So, this is hilarious. I say go for it. Just full blast, hit the area. Who cares?
Shockwave.
Trust me. No, Beth. Trust me on this.
All right, nuking incoming. One hand lights up. The wand is going to come out. Fireball, fireball.
Okay.
How does the fireball interact with water?
That's
Well, being underwater gives you resistance to fire damage. It's a shame she ignores resistance to
I
fire
know
damage.
fire damage.
She has Mario fire. It works fine underwater.
Your targeted fireballs are coming out. First one's going to be at third. The second one's going to be at fourth.
Sure. I'm in the cone.
No magic affects you.
That was my point. I'm standing in a non-magic cone, so if it stops magical effects, then he should be immune to it.
Midge?
I'm sorry, Midge. I planned this out just a little bit.
it's fair. So I'm now trying to calculate, because obviously Fireball throws a seed that then explodes. I've got to work out how that seed interacts with coming from out of water into water as well.
Well, she can fly. She's not in the water.
Yeah, I can fly. I'm above it.
Yeah, I know, but it's got to go into the water to reach next to you two.
Doesn't matter.
I'm trying to work out if it floats or not, essentially.
Rubies aren't seeds. Rubies are balls of fire coming out of her hand.
No, they're not. They're not, because that's not how the fireball spell works. Sorry, because that's
not how. That's how bead of fireballs works. The necklace is a seed.
So because otherwise, the thing is how they start as a small cluster and then explode. Otherwise, they would be a line spell because they'd be coming out of you and you'd be hit by the fire then. So yes, they always start as a cluster and then go, poof, and then the 8th level one is a delayed blast version of the same thing. So it is how they work. It does go off. I was just doing some quick analysis, like, hey, how does Fireball interact with going into water, going from out of water into water? I was just looking at the physics of it. It's fine. It goes off. Please roll your damage. Because it hits her.
Me.
She succeeds, so roll the damage.
That's actually 33 halved.
It's still
Same
16.
one.
There's
Yeah,
no
it's the same
change.
number.
Yep. And here's the second one.
So, sorry, you're twin casting this.
No.
She's quickening it.
Oh, quicken.
No, I'm not quick. I'm fireball and then item. Yeah, quickening. Yeah. Sorry. Yes, I am quickening it. I used my last 2 sorcery points.
That's what I was gonna say. If it was a twin cast, you were already out of sorcery points for that. But yeah, quicken's fine.
All right. Sorry, I didn't have it targeted for the second one. Here we
right.
go. Fireball.
She does not save.
That's a good one.
Bam! That's a real good one. 32. Nice.
It's the same as the previous one.
And the random fire goes off into nowhere.
Yeah. It just sizzles in the water.
She's pretty fucked up looking from my angle.
You can't see her.
Not that we could tell.
Not that we could
Sorry,
tell.
Valymr, it is your go. For some reason, it did a double skip there. Please go ahead, mate. Your turn.
So, I was more just trying to get, like... I imagine Breton realized, like, Valmyr's got to be freaking out right now.
Yeah,
like,
Valymr,
we need Valymr here and helpful, not having to deal with his internal crises.
You feel the cloak. Your eyesight keeps like flickering on and off, like a horror film. Like a low battery camera in a horror film. Your flotation, your floaties cape keeps
Turning on and off, just thinking up and down rapidly.
You're essentially being dunked by your own magic items. Yeah, you are now floating safely because of the cloak of the manta ray. You have been given the swim speed. You can't drown right now. What would you like to do?
Okay, so her screamy stuff is black, and I assume it is going around the side of this dais in the center as well.
She's being held under the water. There is physically no way that she can.
So if
hit
I
you
look
with
up,
it.
there's nothing. There's
Nope, there's no physical way she can hit you with it right now.
Okay.
Because it relies on sight, and you might assume that she might not be able to see through the water.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and move closer towards her then. I'm going to go... As soon as I get to about here, I should be able to see her.
No.
Blind sight, I
Blind sight.
I can sense where they are.
Just about judge, yes. But she...
Like, we are not visible, but there's definitely thrashing around going on. There's a lot of stuff to see for blind sight.
Yes. Yeah.
And
it's also the massive concrete structure in front is the thing I was also trying to work out.
Okay.
Sure.
And I'm actually gonna go. No, Valymr wouldn't do that. That's fucking stupid. You would not deliberately go into the deeper water. Fuck that. I have a swim speed of 60, but there's. But this is a roleplay game.
It would actually make sense, but you're right. Valymr would not willingly go into deeper water. That is fair.
He's desperately trying to touch the feet on the ground.
Left hand is like glued to that fucking dais, and he's just got his right hand with the glaive, and he's like, yeah. So he's gonna try and stab her.
Make attacks at disadvantage.
Even with blind sight?
Because you're pushing.
You're attacking
water.
underwater. Yeah, attacking underwater has penalties on almost all weapon types except for like short swords, daggers, etc.
Stop that?
Nope.
No, that just gives me a swim speed of 60, which I've never used.
Yeah, he also
Probably won't.
can't drown.
There's a reason Sahagin used tridents and nets.
Yeah. Because you can't swing.
Yeah, it's very difficult to swing underwater. Jabbing's a little more okay, but that's why short swords, daggers are what you use.
As my bonus action,
yes, sir.
I am going to branding smite.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm going to do it at 3rd level, so it'll be 3d6. And I have no idea how to fucking set that up, of course. but if I do that on myself, and then
Oh, I haven't
do
been using her
that,
bonus action. That's sad.
I think that's fine. I don't think you need to worry about
Classic midge.
Yeah.
that. So,
I always forget about half of the enemy's abilities that I.
question.
Yes.
Question. She can't see me,
Still disadvantaged.
but do I get an advantage on her because she can't see where the attack is coming from? So
No.
it would cancel out.
No.
Okay.
You assume
question.
she can't see you.
I still miss fuck balls. I'm gonna. No, I don't.
Oh, that would have been a crit with your Hexblade's curse too.
Yeah.
It really would.
Yeah, it would. All right.
You
I've got
only
another attack.
just missed as well. That's so sad. Oh, dropped another crit. You hit though.
Third level divine smite
Oh,
and eldritch smite.
the thing is,
and
well, Breton can't see
blinding
you, so
smite.
Breton
She's-
just feels the water next to him move as something comes past him towards the thing he's holding.
There's gonna be a
He planned.
triple-
This is what he planned for. This is why he did what he did. Let them do their job.
This is gonna be a triple smite.
Frantic smite, eldritch smite, divine
She's
smite.
Yeah,
Look,
d-
I am smitten because she's gorgeous, but I am smiting.
I think the picture's doing a lot of the carrying. That
True.
that form does not hold up to what you.
All right, so I hit mommy. Sorry, the dead girl.
Mommy's upstairs. Deal with this dead girl.
That is the branding smite, but there should be one more d6 on that. So can you add another 6 on that, please?
Yep.
And then also we've
Give me a
got
second to
a
look this
level
in.
3 divine smite. Do I have that on anywhere? How many dice is this one? 3d8 radiant. Yeah, that works. All right. I don't know why that happened like that.
Curious, establishing question here. Branding smite makes the target shed light. Does she become visible for him? Actually, it doesn't matter because he's blind sight. Never mind.
Yeah. I have no idea how to do this. So
But
there's
no,
another.
she does glow, but no. To put it into perspective, everybody, you think even if Breton wasn't in the cone, you wouldn't be able to see him through
Sure,
the water, right?
fair
now.
enough.
It is complete absence of light, this water. Almost like it's
Vanta
absorbing
light.
light. Yes. Yes.
All right, and then finally, can you add another 14? And then there's also, that's a decent roll, another 16.
How would you want to do this?
Yeah. So I'm hand on the water pool Darius thingy because he's fucking scared shitless of the water, and he's got the glaive and it's like couched under his arm, and he's like, he can sense them under the water, and he just goes, oh no, misses, and then and he gets her right in the mouth.
Yeah,
It's like her mouth is open, screaming straight through through the back
fine.
of her head.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like, this made
And then the
purchase.
smites
and
go
used
off and make
all
her
of
head
your strength
explode.
to push in, and then the smites. You see like unholy power, like mix of power, like eldritch and holy power, just ripple through the roof of the crypt that you're in and dive straight into the water. Breton, you just feel all life leave in front of you, or unlife, or whatever this thing is, and you feel the arms actually dissolve into like a goo. I need everybody to make a strength saving roll, saving throw, as the water begins to be pulled back to the crypt rapidly.
Is magic back on at this point?
Magic is back on. Magic's back on the menu.
No,
Whenever
so
you get, add 1 to it, Breton, because you're within 10 feet of me.
gonna put my ring back on.
Because my thing is 1 higher than yours, right?
There's a 21.
22 for me and Breton. Yeah, because you're within 10 feet of me, so you get my plus doodad, right?
So then maybe a 23 because my aura is only a +3.
Okay.
Oh, okay. +2 for unit. Nice.
18 for me.
So you two managed to like withstand the water and like grab enough perches. Ruby,
I'm above the water.
did you reactivate your wings?
Yeah. Wait, no, I couldn't.
Yeah,
I
she
double
said she
fireball.
was flying
No,
when she
you
did the
didn't.
fireball.
No, I can't because I was double fireball. No. Then yeah.
Did she bonus
Uh-oh.
action to quicken so you?
Can I now?
So you are just this water at an otherworldly speed is just being like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like the everything being pulled back into it. You are just pulled, and you are being pulled towards and into the crypt. You are like the water is throwing you. You are being
Yeah. Looks like Team Rocket's getting. I'm not gonna complete
so
that sentence.
yeah. So Ruby is being pulled towards the crypt. I will give Breton, you're probably the only person close enough to make a reaction to try and stop her, because you probably notice this as the water levels like go really weirdly around you, and you have a high enough passive perception.
I'm being flushed.
Yes, you are being flushed. Men in Black 3 style? Is it?
I stopped watching it too.
If you're agreeing to that imagery, then I want to establish the way that we effectively defeated this fight was Breton giving this girl a constant swirly.
Yes, I will accept the swirling of a goo monster.
Just to keep her head underwater so she couldn't see anything. Yes, so what am I rolling here, Midge? To either close this crypt before Ruby gets sucked into or to grab her?
I will.
Is it athletics or strength check? Or strength save?
I will say this will be a strength saving throw.
Alright, so this is going to be at, again, within Bridge of Valymr, so this is +2 to this. That's a natural 20 for a 32.
Fucking clutch. You see your bride-to-be, and you just, like, essentially, like, grapple the side of the two, arm out, essentially, almost, like, you know the way you pick up a kitten? Like, essentially,
Just crack the scruff of the neck.
Scruff of the plate of the breastplate, and just yank and throw her over the side with using all your strength as the rushing water like encircles around you. And you also see that it even brings close the lid of the cask as well, until there is just the like subtle drip as this room has been fully evacuated of water.
Where did the water go?
Back inside the crypt.
She's looking like a wet cat right now.
Yeah, I think all a little soggy, but
Thank you, dear.
Let's not open that again, please.
What the fuck
Tommy
was
is looking
she
pretty
made
pale.
of?
yeah. I will say that there is in front of you still a goopy stain of like white gelatinous, off-grey gelatinous sort of ooze.
Look, can we just call it the
Behave.
Blood Monster and get away with it?
Behave.
I'm pretty sure
Behave.
that Midge said jizz latinus.
I am just shaking my damn head, guys.
Behave.
So, looking at this material, does it look like this is what would happen to a body if it's literally been soaking in water for just like hundreds of years, or
This, I will
This is
let you
ectoplasm.
roll. I will let you roll history check against the fact that you are. It's specifically designed to be stopping otherworldly creatures coming through.
okay? History is good. We can do better. 21.
This is very similar to certain fluids utilized by
He's not beating the allegations.
For those of you who are listening to this on our many broadcasting platforms that don't have visual cues, two people right now look like they are 12 years old. They cannot help themselves when the words fluids and material are used.
Especially when they're mixed with, you know, goopy and white.
Jizz latinus.
So they it looks kind of like a fluid of more scientific nature. along the lines of I think you probably may have seen textbooks on like the birthing pods for mind flayers, for example. There is a abortive nature to this.
Abortive.
As in aberration.
Okay. Because you said abortive, and my brain immediately went to like, it's made of nature? No, wrong.
Not arbor.
Wrong.
Abortive.
Imperative. Yeah. Okay. No. Oh, E's in that word, not O's in that word. Fair enough.
Yep. Sorry.
That does not at any point make this better.
No. No, it doesn't.
This is essentially aromatic fluid that has come off of this.
Thicker than that, but it has all of the telltale signs of this is bizarre and unnatural fluid.
It's like, this is what you get when you have. This is ectoplasm from the far realms. Is what we're dealing with here. Okay.
Look, I have that Baldur's Gate 3 achievement. I know what this is.
I didn't say it.
No, you didn't.
Have you? I'm trying to. It kind of looks like PVA glue.
Sure.
But like grey.
Like I'm just imagining that like whenever you see like squids being pulled out of deep water and just like the slime that comes off of them, that's all I can picture right now.
Got it, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, Breton will just kind of take a breath and just say, Eldritch Horror, I don't even know how to begin to describe why the fuck would something like this be connected to deep creatures? Like, what is this doing down here? Who the hell was it? And I think the more important question here, is it even dead?
And kind of resembles Nardathel. Is that... Was it Nardathel? Did we just kill the corpse of Nardathel?
No. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Oh my god, bitch. I'm trying to be good here.
Yep, that's fine.
Are you guys? Are you?
I'm allowed 1 point.
I never said I was trying.
Okay.
Do we want to, like, scoop up a
Sample?
Yeah.
sample?
I'm gonna try to get this to the Lord High Mage.
Yeah, I have spare vials still. I will throw you a spare vial.
She's gonna look into the crypt, just kind of.
It's been closed again.
Oh, okay.
The water was so violent enough that it managed to pull the lid and all seeped in before the lid closed.
Oh, it got Indiana. That's what the
Let's
Indiana.
not try to reopen it.
Yeah, hence my concern of, is this just going to be something that resets over time?
That's the worry.
Let's get back up there and find out.
We came down here trying to find the Queen Consort.
Yeah, we can't leave yet. We've got 3 doors we can go down. I think, right? Is there a door?
Two more?
on,
No, you've got 2 pathways either way. There was a chamber and then there was this door, and there was 2 other pathways.
So we have to
go
go
down one of the other pathways.
3 doors down.
They're alright.
Okay.
So there's only one exit from this room then?
Yep.
Okay. I guess nothing in the corners. Everything
Make
Are
an
an empty.
investigation check. Or a
Ah,
perception check.
there. Okay,
Or a
perception.
perception
That's the one we like to hear.
I will take the time to go over there so that my true sight can have
Sure, no problem.
a go.
Perception check. Yeah.
18.
17.
Valymr's voice is kind of croaky right now because he screamed so much.
Yeah, and he swallowed some of the water. It was.
Oh no, it makes it even worse.
In the corner, in the corner of one of the flanking sort of little like the alcove antechambery things that are in here, you find a candle that has been lit, and melted down slightly. That is like a purple black in color, and a jar that is now empty. Like a little glass mason jar.
We don't have time to identify this right now, I don't think, but maybe...
I've got the spell slot. I haven't used any of my...
I don't know if we want to... We might... We're looking for the queen down here. Like, I feel we may not be...
I will cast Identify at first level. I've got spell slots for that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd say on the candle would be the most prescient.
This is a wax candle made of a very exotic ink, and has plenty of magics imbued in said ink that has dyed the wax.
Interesting.
So this, you theorize that this could have been used in a ritual or summoning of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that then, because I plan on meeting the Queen of Anrayne.
Yeah.
Again, and maybe she can grim psychometry it.
Okay.
So, purple funky candle. Mason jar. Alright, should we go down one of the other passages then?
Would you like to go left or right?
Even is left. We go right.
You begin to progress down the right path, and it is a longer hallway, kind of like the one that you came up to this small antechamber in. It doesn't have any side doors, but it's got that same rough-hewn stone and that kind of slight moss starting to cover it. And eventually, you notice... Actually, all of you give me a perception check.
$18.
17.
You
16 from Red.
begin to re-pick up wet footprints.
Maybe their wet footprints are because they had to also fight this frickin' drowned lady.
Which initially led into that room that you were in. But you also sense a slight change in the elevation. Like the each step you're taking is slightly getting harder. So it's like you've gone from being exactly flat to going, okay, this might be inclining slightly.
How long is this corridor?
You feel like that there's a doorway coming up about 40 feet away, so total 100-foot corridor.
Okay. Can I be aware with my true sight. Like, if I'm looking around for, like,
Sure.
tripwires and that kind of stuff on the way to the door.
You don't come across any traps. You do reach the door. The doorway isn't blocked by a door, but an inky black void. Very similar to the smoky void that you pass through as a precipice to a demiplane when you are on the islands. Can't see through it, but you can feel an energy behind it. Very cool. Almost like a first frost on your face as you walk out the door in the winter. Can't see through it. True sight also doesn't bring you through it, Valymr. For you, it's just a glowing light.
I feel like this is another portal. I will push the end of my glaive through if I can.
Okay. You do.
It goes through.
Yeah.
I think this is a portal.
Mm-hmm.
I walk through it.
Okay.
Brett is just concerned to be. We need some sort of device that we can use to like send through to take pictures. That they can send those pictures back to us so that we can. Bitch immediately got the reference, and I feel like that was a winner right there. Awesome. Bretton's also gonna go through.
What we need is Zep, but you know.
Maybe to stop things coming back, we need some kind of like shutters over portals.
Roach isn't here, but Roach would have appreciated this so much.
I appreciate all of this. So as the chevrons encode once more, we are brought through the portal that you go through. What you are all greeted by is... I need to change the music because I need to get a bit dramatic here.
Ooh.
A feeling that you've never felt before.
Love.
Got a feeling.
You are all suspended in a space of pure
Imagination.
We went to the same place. Damn it.
energy. It feels like your entire body is covered around in fog, and almost like that your form isn't your own. You still feel like you can walk and stand, but at the same time you're not there. Around you is a vibrant, somewhat magical purple fog. Deep and just filtering through this void. You also see specks and shards of brittle glass suspended in the space around you, ever turning. Valymr, you went through first. What would you like to? What would you like to do?
How far away is the glass?
It's like, also I will say the glass ranges from like a broken piece like that big to one the size of a building. The nearest piece is probably within arm's reach.
Does this feel like the place I was scrying into?
Quite possibly.
Feels like it. Lots of mirrors.
I would like to tap the glass with my finger.
Sure.
No!
Valymr, you tap the glass and it sort of floats kind of towards your face. Would you make a perception check for me?
Sure.
Slow motion Ruby going.
Oh, no, we went to the place where
24.
physics are in reverse.
Look, Valymr is hella fucking perceptive today.
You tap the corner and it like turns away, but the momentum carries it in front of you. And just as it goes past your face, you see the visage of you and your mother. Your mother embraces you and takes you in for a warm hug. before taking the dagger from your hip and plunging it into your back.
I knew there was something up with this, because that hadn't happened before. Do I feel any different? Or is
No.
it, I'm just like
That's just what you see.
watching it. That is odd. Note to self, don't hug mum.
But yes, Ruby, this does feel like the place that you come from. And you, Valymr, as you're the first, you then hear as the other two join behind you. Yes, this feels like the place you tried to scry into. It feels cold as well, this place. There is like I said, it feels like a first frost. Like when you, it's like about, 0 degrees and you just walk out, there's a brittle frost on the grass as you walk outside your home. It's kind of that feeling, it's a bite to your face, but you soon get used to it. And yeah, everything feels gaseous around you. Like there's this fog. You feel almost ethereal.
So,
Ruby, take a look into this.
well,
Take a
hold
look at
on.
this piece of glass.
Also,
Hold on.
I will also say, as you speak, your voice echoes, like almost like you're speaking from a memory. There's like a reverb on your voice, an echo, a delay.
Okay. The last time I manifested anything down here, I felt like I was looking at those guardians again. Midge called something last time and it already escaped my mind. The
Astral pariahs.
Yeah. Not Time Lords. The astral pariahs that we encountered. Which means I think we might be dealing with something extraordinary down here. Be careful, please, before you touch anything.
I didn't touch anything. You weren't in the room when I did it.
I am not an idiot, Valymr. I've been with you for the year now.
But yeah, so there's...
All right.
And you also see that there's like... You even look below you and there's like a city-sized shard of glass, like... slowly spinning and turning below you. There's like shards everywhere. Of varying sizes, scaling up to almost planetary in certain distances.
Would Valymr have any idea where this is? Like what realm, what plane, what space?
Make an Arcana or a Religion check. DC 28.
May I also make one?
So that's a 5% chance of victory. No.
You may also, Ruby.
And I will use my inspiration.
Not even a point of me rolling, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, I needed to get a nat 20.
I will also use Favored by the Gods.
Doesn't work on skill checks.
Oh, no, you're right. It doesn't. Oh, well. Close, but no cigar.
It's the one thing it doesn't work on, unfortunately.
Which is the thing I always wanted to use it on back when I was playing a Divine Soul.
Have I been here before?
No.
No?
Absolutely not. No, there is a... There's a weird feeling to all of you that there's a familiarity to this place. But you definitely haven't been here. You've seen nothing like this.
Why does this...
This is everything. Why is there a portal to whatever this is here? If I look down where my feet are, is there anything that I'm standing on, or is it just invisible floor?
Invisible floor. You are just standing. Or at least your mind is perceiving you to be standing.
If I turn around, is the portal still there?
No, it is not.
This is not the halls of the dead halls. It can't be.
Well, I don't see any dead people around. But I also kind of don't see anything past 100 feet. I'm going to take the blindfold off.
That was a good question. How did he see what was in the mirror with the blindfold on? Like it's true sight. Sorry, Mitch.
True sight.
True sight is the answer to everything.
True sight.
Without the blindfold, does it do it? And looking at the glass, if it's relatively close, do I see any images in it without?
No.
Without a blindfold. So it's only because I had true
No,
sight.
no. It's too far away now. It like continued drifting all the while you were talking. You'd have to go and retrieve it.
Is there any other shards relatively close?
Yeah, like what size are you trying to go for? Like it's like okay. You see a larger shard and you begin to move towards it. You go for it.
Can I do mage hand?
No. You can't. As in your spell does not work.
If I try to manifest my wings, will they?
Your wings manifest.
Anything else if I, conjure up a little bit of fire in my hand?
Doesn't seem to.
Oh.
So no magic.
No weave.
No portal home.
Ruby's gonna start walking.
So this is gonna be where Reynard tries to make a really big brain moment because I have to ask. So there is no ground. Wherever they walk, they manage.
Yep.
If Breton makes any attempt to deviate from like a standard walking procedure, like if he just starts trying to go up steps, does he actually ascend?
Yes. Yes, he does. And this is what I was about to explain to Valymr. As you see a chunk like that flying in the distance, you begin to move towards it. Your form moves towards it. As you do, it gets smaller until it is about the shard the size of your face.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Mark II for reality working in reverse, where when you get closer to things, they get smaller.
Hello. Welcome to the trippy zone.
Welcome to the inverse dimension.
Looking
a
in
mirror
this
universe.
One, do I see anything?
You just see a reflection right now. You want to touch it?
I want to touch it.
Staring right at you when
I'm gonna touch it.
Soul's not here to resurrect your ass this time.
You see it. You again. This time you see a great battlefield. With yourself leading an army. On top of your mount. In front of you, arrayed, you see a line of banners. All of them various coats of arms of the Rien. You begin to charge. And then it spirals away from you.
Against the Rien or with the Rien?
Against.
So in these shards we see things that were, things that are, and some things that may come to pass.
Shut up.
You make the assumption that things here.
I don't think this is showing things that are. I think this is showing things that aren't.
Oh, yeah, I'll also tell you what I saw, just in case they didn't see it. Out of
Things that haven't
curiosity,
happened.
did they see what was in the glass while I was looking at it? Because
I don't think
Ruby
we
said
would have
she
been
was
close
staring
enough.
right at me.
No.
It seems like you got to get really close to be able to actually see what's inside.
Can
I think it's a touch thing.
Can she look at one of the mirrors and walk backwards away from it?
Sure.
Her intent focused on a mirror. Just start walking backwards.
Yeah. It gets bigger, or seems to slightly.
But can I reach out and touch it, or is it still very far away?
You feel
That's
like
some subliminal shit. Like that's.
you can still reach out and touch it. Yes.
So she's gonna back up until the mirror is the size of a good, good standing mirror.
Yeah. And then touch.
And then touch.
Sure. Roll me a d10, please.
Bye, guys. Nice knowing you. That's a 1.
Oh, no, that's fine.
See you later.
Ruby, you are greeted by the sight of a tavern, live and raucous with music. In front of it, you see you see a live band playing and raucous laughter, flowing ale and brevity. And in front of you, as you look down towards the bottom of the mirror, you see just a food prep station, and this seems to be like a first-person perspective.
It's my dream.
Yeah, it is.
She'll tap Breton. My dream.
Breton,
Does Breton see anything?
So you don't even feel her tap you.
Are we even aware of where the other person is in proximity, or
Vaguely, yes. But it's one of those things of you see them like sort of sustained, and like and ethereal layers around them. They still move and things, but they're not like walking normally. Everyone's kind of floating. But you feel like if you feel like you're walking around.
This is not the astral plane, is it?
No.
Not the ethereal, not the astral. It's somebody's domain.
It's showing potential and what's not right, dreams. This is, I mean, if we just look at this as this is a place of dreams, if this is a place of pure potential, then Breton's just kind of reach forward, and like there's all these little shards of mirrors around and all around. If he just tries to focus on not what is there, but what could be there, can he just have what happens when Breton just tries to picture a space like I'm gonna take an example. When we were on the islands, they had these large pillars and the benches around them, the secure shelters in the corrupted timeline, the crime time space. If he just focuses on that as hard as he can, what happens?
Oh.
Raphael lives.
What size mirror are you trying to?
He wasn't looking at a mirror. He was just kind of looking into the space itself.
Oh, into the space itself?
So far, it seems like the way that they choose to interact with the space is derived more by how they think about the space, more so than how they actually physically interact with it. And he's saying if he just tries to picture a place where stability forms, does stability form?
No.
Okay.
But give me a perception check.
Perception. Okay. So we can't. It's not a dream. We can't will things into being. 23.
You notice in the distance, on one of the large, almost planetary size shards, you see a mountain surrounded by a city of a mountain. Atop it, a Parthenon-like structure and a large glowing light, and then you see that entire shard fracture, and split, and crunch, and then break apart into 1,000 shards. You all feel as well the vibration of and that shard just exploding, but it's all almost in slow motion. It's not, you don't feel like you're in danger, but you feel the like an earthquake as this image forms for you, Breton, and then cracks and crumbles and sends the shards floating into the ether.
He's going to relay what happened and the correlation that seems to have caused that. Might be weird to say that this place is unstable, considering what this place appears to be.
When I was reading the prophecy, it mentioned that the ninth shadow. I'm trying to bring up my notes to make sure I get that correct. One moment, please. The culmination of everything. Does this feel like everything? Or anything? Or nothing? Would that not also include everything?
Yes.
This is his domain. Why is there a portal to the king that never was? There was rumored to be one on Elendor. I thought it was in the Caliphate or somewhere out there. Why would it be in the crypt beneath Nardathel?
You assume that's where we are.
For lack of better information.
I mean, 2 portals.
I have an idea. She will look at a mirror and focus on the queen. The missing queen.
Sure.
She'll walk backwards to make it a life-size portal and touch it.
Give me a D10, please. You said you're going like, are you going for another like house
10.
Standing mirror size?
Yeah.
You see in front of you nothing. You see almost a reflection of where you are, but not you. You see this ethereal fog with the bright purples and oranges and light and sound. You see void. You get the feeling she's somewhere here.
Place ruled by the mind.
Mm-hmm.
You said Ruby's wings popped out.
Yep.
When she called them. So it's magical, sure, but it is a feature of her being that was okay to work. Valymr would like to try thaumaturgy because it is a part of his being.
You're still casting a spell.
And yeah, the wings kind of are too.
It didn't change. Put it this way. Ruby's shape changed, but nothing actually happened. For you, in all intensive purposes, Valymr, you see just a ruby suspended in the air, slowly moving and floating around this void. You yourself feel like you're walking, but if they were to look at you, you would be suspended.
Okay. Can I, instead of just touching a piece of glass,
Sure.
can I grab it?
Okay, you grab a piece of glass.
Can I move it around freely
Yeah.
as if it's
You feel
just
like you
a
can.
free?
Yeah.
Does anything show on it while I'm waving it around?
You want to look at it? You see yourself in an alleyway. You know exactly which alleyway.
He stops looking and he's going to pocket the piece of glass.
You think you pocket the piece of glass.
Good enough. Well, if... Did Ruby say that she thinks the person is here, the queen is here?
She's here somewhere. I don't know how to manifest her location. I tried, but it's fogged out. Whatever these astral pariahs are doing is preventing my vision from reaching her.
So this time, Breton has been experimenting his ability to move, because like you said, if he thinks about going up, he goes up. If he thinks about going down, I imagine at some point he's just been walking in a circle, like on the inside of a sphere, and at which point he's just going to try and think like, so where I want to go is where I start to move to. What if he directs the desire for him to go towards, say, where the queen is, and just starts moving in that direction?
Ruby and Valymr, you see Breton blink out of existence near you.
Breton?
Oh shit.
Mind drives intent. Where would he go?
Did Breton say what he was doing?
He had been experimenting. He had not been speaking about it.
So we just saw him, and from our perspective, he's just floating.
He just went like his form kind of collapsed in on himself and went in, and it just turned into fog and dust. Twilight.
This is a Ruby.
Light.
This is then going to be a Ruby insight into the nature of her bride or husband to be. Would she be the one to think, if he's the person who thinks, if she had called out loud, intent drives, or mind drives intent, what would he be intending?
Well, you know exactly what you just said, that you think the queen is on this planet.
Valymr, focus on getting to the queen.
But I don't know where she is.
Doesn't matter. Intent matters here. Mind over matter.
Queen.
And start walking.
Ruby, you see Valymr. Yeah.
And now I'm finally alone, hands on the back of head, enjoy the next 10,000 years just relaxing in thought space.
She will look up at nothing and say, "Is this good enough for you yet?" If the silence is her answer, she is going to focus on the queen and walk towards him, her as well.
You, on all of you, you're still in this void, and you just hear sobbing.
Hello?
The crying then kind of stops.
Your Majesty?
Hello? Who's there?
Looking. Do we see, like, obviously, if Breton has presumably moved to a new place, I'm assuming the mirrors and stuff are still floating about. Is there any changes in distortion in the fog to suggest that there might be another person here? Before we saw, like, the image of Valymr and Ruby, is there anything new?
So, the only thing that's different is you still see each other again now. There's still these shards everywhere. Slightly different shapes and sizes, you know. The voice that you're hearing back, the way I said that you guys are like a reverb and distorted and like got that sort of echo to you, this one sounds muffled, like it's behind glass. You don't see anything different.
To this point, I realize I don't think I actually know what the Queen's name is. So I went back to check, and I'm like,
I would say that's common knowledge for someone who lived in the Netherthel.
yeah, it's like Breton would know. I, the player,
Nobody has
don't.
actually asked. Her name's Alora.
Laura. Well, that's fair enough. Queen Alora, we've come to try and rescue you. We need a moment. We're still trying to figure things out on this end.
Where am I? Where am
That's one of the things we're trying to figure out.
Help me. You're just getting that sort of muffled.
Alright, well, we have an idea of where she is proximally. That doesn't change on how we fix this.
Queen Laura, in your mind's eye, imagine walking towards us. She knows who we are, right? Imagine walking towards us and then start walking forward.
Midge, I also sent you a message.
One second then. I need to respond to this before. I need an answer to this question first. Okay. Valymr and Breton. Ruby does not appear for you.
It takes Breton all of a millisecond before he realizes she's trying to find the king that never was.
Ruby will come back to you in a moment.
Breton knows Ruby, and I know Beth better than anything to know exactly what she's doing right now. Breton is going to... Well, they're doing that, so I guess we're going to have to resolve this. If Breton... Because the lady thinks she's trapped, so if Breton tries to manipulate one of the mirrors to be large enough, like, can he continue to kind of shape it into a large enough state and just focus on seeing if the queen is somehow inside one of them?
Sure. You do so and you interact with the mirror, and yes, you see the ethereal visage of the queen behind the glass.
If he kind of holds it still and just kind of gestures, and like waves at her, does she seem to be aware of us at all?
She can see you.
Well, that's one step down.
Is she in also this ethereal, foggy land,
Seems
or
like
is
she's
inside
in
the
her
glass
own
something
version,
else?
yes.
Imagine walking onto the other side of this glass, and then just walk forward. This place works through like imagination or something.
She is like... You see her like mime the glass, essentially. It doesn't seem like she can make her way through.
If I touch the glass, do my fingers go through, or
was
is it just
like
glass?
Breton holding the glass? It's like I'm wondering, is it just sealed one way? If Breton just imagines like reaching into a room and tries to put his hand through the glass.
You're trying to go into the glass. Your hand does go through.
At which point I imagine he just like gestures his hand around, like take hold.
Yeah. You do. And she grabs your hand.
And if he just kind of gingerly tries to pull her out.
Does
Like,
it?
he's not going to try and pull her out just in case she just slams her against the glass and knocks her conscious. Like, let's not do that. Just gingerly
You
tries to
don't-
pull her free.
You don't feel like you can come back.
So his hand cannot come out at all. Once it's in, it's in.
Yes.
Then the Valmyr's just going to get the... Oh, boy. He's going to give her a look, Valymr a look and say, so when Ruby shows up, I have words for her, and I imagine she's going to have words for me, and Breton is just going to go through.
Okay.
I'm allowed to do a dumb too.
Okay. Valymr, you are left in front of Maria. You see those two the other side. And no Ruby.
Don't you know you never split the party?
What would you like to do? I'm starting with you. Because the other two, I'm going to have words with.
Do we want to go to break? Because we are at 2 o'clock.
I want to find out if Valymr has a straight away action that he's doing, and then we will be going to break.
So, what I did say before Breton put his hand through it, I did say that I touched it.
I was like,
With
Breton
my
was already
fingertip.
holding the mirror. Was my point. Like, Breton had his hand on the mirror. He was the one who was going to do this. You kind of interjected a little bit. So I was like, just let Breton finish his thought first.
Yeah, no, go for it. That's fine then.
He was holding the one
will-
where she appeared on, and she was miming.
Oh, I didn't know you were holding it.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
fair
physically holding
That's
it. and
why
then
it
he
appeared.
pushed his arm through, and then was like, thump, thump. Well, hold you away, and kind of stepped. You see him like sort of step through it.
enough. In that case, he will just stay on this side and not touch it, and just
You can
kinda
see and
make
talk
sure
to
that it
him.
is still the same size. And
You imagine it to be the same size, yes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take our midpoint break here. So we'll see you in 10 minutes' time, everybody. This is about to get trippy. I apologize. We'll see you soon.
about to.
It's about to get trippy, yes.
Come here a minute. Do you need royalty-free music for your TTRPG content, whether that be a YouTube video, stream, TikTok, Instagram post? Don't worry, we've got you covered. My name's Alex. I've been a content creator for almost a decade now, and I've teamed up with my good friend Harry to produce 10 royalty-free songs for you to use in your content completely for free. We've tried to make a whole range of motifs with this album, covering happy music to sad music, to mystery music to combat music. And if this takes off, you know what? We might even make some more. So give the Elendor Chronicles soundtrack Volume 1 a shot. It's free to stream everywhere. And if you want the high quality downloads, you can come over to our Patreon and download them, or you can contact me directly at tabletop@themidgemansworld.co.uk as a creator, and I'll just give it to you for free. That's it, there's no catch. And just to prove it, we've also given you guys a user license agreement to prove that you have the complete perpetual rights to use this content. So enjoy, and good luck on your next adventure. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighbouring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions, a solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Dre Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? when a tale is more than words on paper, when is an ad more than the script it's written on. In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope from the brain that's wrestled and riddled with madness. A radiant pustule. Writing, art, that's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can dutifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get an extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast. Welcome back, everybody, as you rejoin us floating in the ethereal fog. I'm going to skip away from Valymr to just quickly cover Breton. Breton, you are face to face now with the ethereal form of the Queen, Alora.
Oh, she's still ethereal here. Okay.
So she's the same as you. She's not like, she now looks like you do. So
Okay.
you see her as like a floating.
What does this area look like now that he's inside of it?
Exactly the same as where you were.
Exactly the same as where we were.
As in fog, floating mirrors. Now Valymr is the other side of the mirror.
That's all right. He's gonna look at you from the over. Valymr, as far as I can tell, this side is the same as that side. I don't know why there's some form of barrier.
Some kind of barrier.
He just thumbs up. It's like, a token. I guess we have to try the token thing. If Breton just tries the same thing on the mirror to go back, what happens? This time it's one way. Okay. Then he will sigh. He will turn towards the Queen's apparition and say, "Well, you have company. Suppose we're gonna have to wait a moment to see what happens with them while I try and figure something out."
No. Okay.
We can cut away from Breton.
Fine. I'll cut to Ruby. Ruby. You are
Very cheeky.
You find yourself
Fond of making bad decisions.
You find yourself standing in a physical form. Waiting at the back of a line. In front of you is it's still the same sort of void, but you now stand in front of a building of unimaginable scale, styled like a Gothic cathedral. In front of it, a large walkway lined with creatures. Different forms, slightly ethereal, of everything once living. Queuing. To the either side of the walkway, you see like plinths, atop of which stand astral pariahs, the size of which you've never seen before.
Am I the only one alive here?
That implies you're alive.
I'll look at myself. Am I not
You-
dead yet?
Make a perception check.
$18.
You look slightly more corporeal than the others around you. There's still a weird hue around you.
Sure. And I'm in a queue.
Seems like it. Well, it's like it's a sea of people in front of you. Perspectively, it's weird. It's like the path is in front of you, but as you look like slightly up in your eyeline, you see the path like curve up and into the building, but the building is still around you and in front of you. So if you were perspectively looking forward, the building would be in front of you. But if you looked up, the entire, like, you know, Inception with the buildings warp.
Yeah.
Like, it's that.
Yeah.
It's that warpingness.
This is the halls of the dead or the DMV. She's gonna start walking forward.
You try to push through the queue.
Yeah.
Okay. As you
This image, the king that never was based on the is the Rian, which is based on the British. And you're cutting queues? Okay. You're
Yes,
screwed.
there's number one. But as you're walking through, it's the people are moving aside for you. They don't know why, but they are. It's like they pay no attention to you, but they can feel your force, and
She's walking with purpose.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like a sea of people is like, and if you look back, the gap would be closed, and you're just moving through.
Tell me it was worth it.
Who are you saying that to?
Out loud, looking up. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Tell me this has a purpose. Tell me we can win. I'm trying to save your world. The one you built. Still walking forward.
Sure. As you do. I'm gonna slip away because every time you're walking, you feel like you're making progress, but the queue is eternal.
Sure. Welcome to my world.
Valymr. Breton is the other side of a glass mirror. Ruby still hasn't shown. What would you like to try and do?
So, when we first came through here, I would have seen Breton do his whole... No, I wouldn't have think he just looked like he was floating around. Never mind. I can imagine myself a chair and sit down.
A chair does not form, but you can sit down no matter what. You can just cross-legged and float.
Yeah. The piece of glass that I thought I put in my pocket, I'm going to reach in and see if it is there.
You pull out a piece of glass.
I'm going to look at it again.
Sure. What would you like to see?
The solution to getting the queen out of this glass box thing.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Make a perception check for me.
Damn it, why did I have to come with a roll? No, Valymr has been very perceptive today. He's been super perceptive today.
Yeah, but we've had the break.
Nah! Take it back. That's a 23.
23? 23, alright.
Perceptive as fuck today.
You see
Let's go.
yourself and Breton standing in front of a large corporeal piece of glass and Breton moving through it. Join the queen on the other side.
Hands in the glass!
Are we sure it's showing us what we want to see and not what we shouldn't do? But yeah, the last few things we saw were you getting stabbed in the back and you leading an army against the Rian.
I mean, and then I also saw the frickin' alleyway where I sold my soul. But you know, that's all. That's in the past.
Yeah, should you have done that too? Let's be real talk there, Valymr. Dig deep.
About, like imagination or like will, right? Can I use like imagination / will to imagine them walking back out of the mirror together?
Is imagination or will to imagine them to walk through the mirror together.
To be with.
So you're
on
trying
my side
to...
now.
Okay, make a wisdom saving throw.
I don't have to get into like, yeah, but does that take away free will? And free will's the heart of imagination.
Wisdom save, you said.
What if we're quite comfortable over here? Thank you.
23.
You give yourself a headache. No, you from that, I would say you start to understand that you don't think that whilst you can affect the world as you perceive it, you can't actually affect the world. But there is a connection between moving through. There is always an ounce of everything that you've been doing. There is a linear, even in the void, there is a linear, there's a forward. There is not a backwards. Since you got here, the path that you came from has not been available to you. But every path forward has.
I am going to try and shout to Breton to see if he can hear me.
You can hear and talk to each other, but it sounds like
Okay.
you're shouting through a pane of glass.
I say, go to the other end, go that way, and see if you can push through on the other side. Coming this way would be going backwards. Keep going forwards. I don't know, see if that works.
Imagine us get. Brain's just gonna kind of like look at the queen and look at the mirror and then look at the queen. You know, that's. I wanted to say that's just crazy enough to work, but let's face what we're dealing here. How you've been trying to get out of? Do you know how long you've been stuck here?
Hours?
Alice
Maybe a
seems
day?
about right. Close to it. It hasn't been that long. So we don't want to go back. We want to go forward. And where is forward? Getting you out of here. We're not trying to get back to the keep. We're trying to find the way out. So I need you to work with me here. We need to focus on how we get out of here.
I don't even know where here is.
But there is always a way out. If there's a way in, there's a way out. And that's what we need to focus on. Going to have to trust me on this. Need to get you back to the king. And Breton's going to smack himself on the forehead. Don't use negative terminology. Back is backward thinking. We need to get you home to the king.
Gotta roll. The thing that brought me here. It also passed through one of the mirrors like you did.
After it brought you through, or after it left you here?
After it left me here, it went through and then through.
It could go that way.
Maybe she hasn't thought about making a mirror big enough for her to pass through. Maybe manipulate one to make it big again.
I mean, Breton just tried to go back and the mirror was big enough.
Yeah, but going back is a problem. Go through a new one.
Okay.
Breton, make an intelligence check.
Well, I was gonna say, with that logic in mind, he's already tried to go through this mirror, but like if we're establishing like we can't retreat, we have to go forward. Breton's next thought is we need to find, like, if we can't just get out of here, then we should find Ruby. But we don't need to go through a mirror to find Ruby in theory. But he doesn't want to leave the queen behind, because he doesn't want to like drag her along on a wild goose chase. But sure, yeah, we'll make an intelligence check. 5.
You are struggling to comprehend a way that you think you'll be able to get back to Valymr. Which is true of this session, but also true of this character right now. You think it might be impossible now to get back to exactly where Valymr is.
Which is why Breton wasn't thinking we need to get back to Valymr. It's like, we need to get to where we were going to go in the first place. Like, Valymr will find his own way out. Everyone has to find their way out. Which is why he's like, I'm going to get you out. Which is why he's saying, we need to focus on going home, not back to where we were.
Okay. What are you trying to... What are you going
So
to
I think
try?
Breton is going to tell, just as he said to the Queen, I want you to focus on the courtyard of the Sept, of the Great Lady. I want us to, we need to focus on getting back to that, the way that you came in the first place. How the way we found our way in here.
Okay. Okay. Breton, you perceive her to manipulate one of the mirrors.
I was going to say too, it's like he still has the mirror, so if he uses that mirror as like the conduit of this.
The one that you came through?
Yes.
Sure.
Like he's gonna like turn it over and just like check the other side of it. Just like imagine like trying to clean that slate free in his mind,
Sure.
and then just kind of gesture that around, like set that in front of them again as a door.
Sure. She manipulates it and then goes to look. And she says out loud, I don't understand. Why is it different?
What's different? How's it different?
There are statues and plants that aren't the same. The garden is different.
So this was Lake's big fear, because Lake suspected this from the very beginning, but Breton's not smart enough to put this together. Like, it's not the same.
And are you still holding the mirror?
He would have been holding it, yeah.
I would say that you can see the image of the garden, actually, yourself, now that you're also interacting with the mirror. But I don't know if you've been to the garden.
The garden's where we went through the painting.
No, it's not. That was her rooms.
I thought she disappeared in the...
Yes, the garden is where the air got choked. So I think you've probably maneuvered through it, but you haven't spent any time directly in it. No, you went through the painting in the Palace of the Lady.
Okay.
I believe. Which is like the royal suite for the queen or king consort.
Then that's where he would have directed her to think about.
Right.
Because that would have made more sense. Because he was trying to focus on the place that they entered all this
right.
with.
Sorry. Okay.
That's on me. I guess I mixed up the locations, because I remember us talking about the garden, and then it was the stuff with the lady.
Yeah. No.
So focusing on the chambers with the lady.
There's a lot of ladies in Nardathelian culture and history. It's fine. Basically, it's the Sept of the Great Lady. There's the gardens, and then there's the Palace of the Lady. Is it the Palace of the Lady? I need to quickly...
Palace of the Lady, yeah.
Yeah, it is the Palace of the Lady, which is like the royal rooms.
So looking through, it's just immediate, like, these are different paintings. These are... Like,
yeah,
it's...
You look at it's like the furniture's different colors. There isn't two bodies on the floor.
Yeah,
And there's no guards just standing around. I imagine
Nope.
keeping a situation of the scene. Like
Orientation of
nothing's
the
happened.
rooms like slightly different as well. Furniture's in different places.
Is it even as subtle as like there's slightly different architectural inspirations to it?
I
Like,
would
does it even
say-
look? It looks like Nardathelian, but not the same Nardathelian.
Yeah. I would say with your expertise as a mason, you might be able to pick up on that, yeah?
Okay. That's a new problem. So maybe we hold on that a little bit until I can think of something else.
Would you like to verbalize for the class what you think has just happened?
So we've set foot into a different timeline. A timeline where things are not happening the same way. It's a different, and depending on how you look at time and space, it is either a different timeline, or some might refer to it as a different dimension, where things developed along a tangential choice, where things are just subtly different because different things occurred. And that is a more significant problem, because if we've entered a different timeline, getting back to the previous timeline is, well, if you can't go backwards, it's hard to go forwards and reverse.
Planes and realities are colliding.
It brought her to a different timeline, which is a concept that we've not really been exposed to yet in this campaign.
No, it is not.
Kind of.
And we like the idea that time is malleable, and that the events at the end of the shadow times did not have to take place linearly. But at no point did it ever express that there was different timelines all coinciding with each other. And not for the first time this campaign, I find myself thinking, Jesus Christ, Zarin would be so much more at home here than I would be, because he is literally, that is his whole thing. Sorry, different campaign. Yeah, I think Breton, for the first time in the entire campaign here, is at a loss for words, and is going to need some time to really like compartmentalize what's going on and try and think of step 2. Because he's turned the mirror now, so I imagine Valymr's not even there anymore, though I'm not sure how Valymr perceives this.
Valymr, the mirror in front of you did clear. You don't see Breton.
Well, balls.
Valymr, what would you like to do? Would you like a moment as well?
I don't know how many moments I'll need to come up with something. I have no idea.
Considering you're floating in an ethereal mesh outside of time, you've got an infinite amount, maybe. Or maybe you have no time. Maybe it's game over. Put it this way.
I have no
What
idea.
do you think Valymr would do if the connection to his one remaining party member that he had a vision of dissipated? Would he try to
Probably
reconnect
grab
with
the
Breton?
sides of the mirror and then be like, shouting, Breton, where did you go? And okay, imagine Breton is on the other side of this mirror now, and open his eyes.
In front of you, the mirror shakes and you see Breton and the Queen holding onto a mirror in the distance away from you.
Breton, hey, do you want to try come through this one? Do they hear me?
Actually, a good question. How much of that do we hear?
You don't.
You don't hear it at all.
Nope.
Okay. which is fine because that did give Breton an idea, and I don't know how well this idea will work. This mirror was the mirror that led. He came through this mirror. To his perspective, this mirror is what led to this place. But that does not mean that this mirror connects back. This was the mirror that led to this place. So Breton kind of thinks for a moment and wonders if each of these mirrors represent a different potential path that they could take. If he focuses on the mirror that leads to, he's trying to avoid the concept of like the place that he came from and trying to focus more on like home. The like going back to like going to Valymr and Ruby and the place that he was born in. Like if he tries to focus on finding a mirror that, if he's understanding, like if the concept of timelines is like different timeline, if he tries to find the mirror that is responsible for his time, and he tries to move towards that, does he perceive any new mirrors?
You begin to manipulate the mirrors around you. But instead, there is something that feels like it's pulling at you. And in the distance, you see a light.
Okay. I don't suppose you see that too.
I do. What is it?
Well, it's the first thing that since we've come here, at least since I've come here, it's tried to get my attention. And every fiber of my being and training tells me that we shouldn't trust it. But in this situation, I think it's our best shot.
Okay. So you're going to begin to proceed towards the light.
Sure, we're going to proceed towards the light.
Tell me, you see Breton and the Queen, like, look away at something. And then in the reflection of the mirror that you're looking in, you see almost like a lens flare. Which kind of catches your eye because it's very, very different. And it makes you look behind you. And you see in the distance this bright light. Almost like a star. The distance. It feels warm and welcoming. Pulling to you.
I'm going to imagine myself in front of this light, and I'm going to step forward.
You're going to try and get towards the light as well. Okay. I'll come back to you two then. Ruby, are you there? Hello. So, Ruby, you are walking through this thing. Suddenly there is, for you, as these bodies and individuals like flow around you like water, you come against one that's resistant, one that doesn't move. And it takes you a moment. Then you recognize yourself. The hair is different. The armor different. The stature different. But there's a form of you in front of you, standing in queue.
First time?
There's no response. It doesn't seem like you can interact with the individual.
I'm sorry. My brain immediately went to, it's all Ruby's, and then Ruby steps in behind her. Always has been. Good for me, I'm sorry.
Does she have the scar over the eye and the scar on the chest?
She doesn't.
If I hand in front of her, nothing?
No, hand in front of her, nothing, but she seems a bit more physical than the others.
Oh, time for the Highlander.
Not killing myself. But she will try to walk past herself. Think I'm
You
on
can.
clone.
You can. And like the sea of people closes around until you lose vision of them.
Weird.
Ruth,
A
make
me
a
that's
perception
failed?
check, please.
Okay. That's a natural one.
Okay. You keep walking. It does feel like the building's getting closer, but like there's an unsettling feeling in your stomach as you begin to move through this space that, because the perspective is warping, like your understanding, like your mind is struggling to comprehend against the perspective shift. Like from in all mental capacity right now, you'd be completely upside down as to where you were, but everything is still remaining linearly in front of you. You keep progressing until it seems like hours have passed. And you're met with an entity. They, in front of you, is like, feel like you're at the apex of this queue. This line. And in front of you is just a blanket of astral stars in the grasp of a doorway. But in front of it sits an individual. This individual is kind of looks like one of those astral pariahs in the fact that they are in a cloak almost made of stars, almost set against the bright and astral light behind it. It's almost like they would be completely camouflaged, invisible, but you can tell there's a form there, a structure, something that your mortal mind can comprehend. The entity reaches out to you. I need to quickly switch headphones because I need to set something up. Give me a moment.
Uh-oh. Very deep.
Dad's back?
You are one that yet lives. Why do you journey here?
I met your best friend in the world. Beneath the tree.
Friend, I have no concept.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember the bard's name. It's gonna bother me.
Does a mortal wish to transcend to the halls of my master? To enter the sanctum, the sanctuary, the beyond.
Because everything he built is on the verge of collapse. Null is not dead. His reach is flowing through Elendor like a fungus, a rot, and it is destroying everything. Dragons rampage across his world. Death itself reaches from the abyss and is devouring it. There are only a handful of us who are stopping it.
Your tribulations mean nothing. You. Why do you wish to proceed?
Because I need to know. I'm sorry.
Knowing is part. Knowing has no answer. Knowing may just be the end.
I know what'll happen if he comes back. I need to know if it's still possible to win. If his world that he died for is still able to be saved.
Mortalis immortum.
I didn't catch that one, I'm sorry.
Mortalis immortum. You may pass, but know this. You may in fact never return.
You may never return to the halls of the dead. Whoa, you're immortal now. Good job.
So, Ruby, what would you like to do?
The implication being that if I cross through, I can never return?
Possibly. You said may, but that's the vibe.
My entire life has been a roll of the dice. Why not take a chance?
Then proceed.
She'll walk forward.
Sure. You let the light engulf you. I'll flip back to the rest of you. You two progress to the light. And you reach out for it in your own separate mirrors. As you do, you feel a warmth. You close your eyes. Before you open them again, you are met by a queue. A large bridge. Each side flanked by pillars featuring astral pariahs. You see ahead of you a building of immense proportions, limitless, but remaining within vision, and the pathway leading towards a bright light. The perspective bends no matter where you look at it, so that the building is always in vision to you. And Breton, you and the Queen arrive, and then Valymr, seconds later, you feel like you arrive. And you see Breton and the Queen.
Is there any glass between us?
No. And they seem to be walking. Like, you feel more corporeal than you were.
Hey, I think we did it.
I don't know if we did it so much as something did it for us.
Deus Ex light bulb, whatever. We're happy with the outcome, at least.
What's a light bulb?
What is? I think it's a kind of plant. Looks a bit like a daisy. Grows in the Underdark.
Goes with that instead of the obvious. It's a Lagerlandslander thing.
Plants in the Underdark glow.
Yeah, it's a bioluminescent fungus known as light bulbs.
The facade.
It's a long vine stalk that blooms into a flower at the end that just glows. They call it a light bulb. Oh, that's terrible.
We pick them and hang them from the ceilings of rooms.
So you three, you two and the Queen. What would you like to do?
Yeah, Ruby's gone now apparently.
No idea where Ruby is. She didn't. And you disappeared first, and then. When we're moving to new places, does everything around us look like we're going to somewhere new? Or does it just look like everything that we wanting, like this light, appeared closer to me, and Breton just appeared closer to me, but I'm like still stationary in the same vague space?
You can't comprehend which case it is. You feel like it could be both.
Yeah.
But this is the first thing that's felt realistic, and even then it's kind of incomprehensible. Incomprehensible? You can't understand.
Why
it.
not both?
Can I try casting Mage Hand again?
One might even say
Now that I feel more
inconceivable.
hero.
You still don't feel like you can control your magic here.
Okay.
But you do feel like more solid.
We have good news. Lady Alora is here with us. We've managed to reconvene. Now we just have to figure out the difficult job of... Well, I was going to say getting home, but now we need to find Ruby.
Trust her.
So this feels a little bit metagame, kind of silly. Narratively, makes sense. Maybe you could do that imagination thing and try and get to her, and I'll get the Queen back to the King.
You want us to split up again?
Hence why metagaming, it's a bad idea, but narratively it feels like the right thing to do. Because there's no way I would be saying like, "Hey Queen, can you imagine Ruby and just come with us a second while we try and find her?" But also, you're not going to leave this place without
I will
Ruby.
say, there is no shards around you. This place feels more solid, more fixed.
Yeah.
More like
was
you
gonna say,
have less control.
I don't know if just deciding to leave is going to work this time.
This
Not that it seemed to
light,
work before.
what's it coming from?
You see now a large doorway. Like, it's like this giant building. It's like a giant Gothic cathedral with the door. And this pathway leads straight to a doorway of immense astral light.
Yeah, so I'm thinking if if there's no glass, then I don't think you can get to Ruby anyway. I don't know. I do think we need to bring the Queen through that door, though. And I don't... I can't obviously say for you, but it doesn't feel like you would come without Ruby.
I can't go anywhere right now except forward. That's the laws of this place. Like, I can't just walk until I hit something that's not real. That's not going to work, and I can't very well just... Well, I can very well just not go anywhere, so forward is the only way to go.
Forward it is, then.
Okay. You begin to walk forward, pushing your way through the queue, but it seems to gravitate around
Wait, we
you.
have a
Like,
queue?
yeah,
Uh,
and it seems to gravitate around you like water. The people take no notice as you progress. Make a perception check, both of you.
$22.
15.
Both of you notice this. The astral pariahs flanking the bridge on the pedestals their gaze is fixed upon you. As far as you can perceive and understand.
As far as I remember, looking them in the eye was a bad idea, so let's not do that.
Don't have such a reference for that. I only remember them from the summit.
I think the last time
Breton
we
wasn't
looked them in
there when the
eye,
island broke.
Yeah, the last time we looked them in the eye, they exploded a flying island.
I remember the journal.
Yeah. Good times.
Oh, her journal's going to be wild after today.
It's gonna
Assuming
be like,
she survives.
what's the one in Warhammer 40k that always changes? It's what's his name? Magnus. Magnus's book. Lambert. The one that
are we talking?
the one that has every perceivable future, past and present in it. That every time you read it, you don't know. Basically, there's a massive chance of just instantaneous madness.
I only know because there was a session of if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device where he used that book to compartmentalize a Warhammer fantasy world that they used for Dungeons and Dragons. Technically, it was Warhammer Fantasy, but you get what I mean when I say that. It's like this book will ensure that everything maintains true, as all outcomes are actually deterministic.
Fair.
Wild. Would pay for that.
But you progress on through. Make another perception check for me as you move through the crowd.
I think Breton is trying to avoid the fact that they are being watched by the. He's trying to avoid eye contact.
Sure. No worries.
With the timeless wardens.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it takes you what seems like hours, but you know that you're progressing, and the world begins to warp. And if you look behind you, it's like, again, it's that Inception perspective where like the entire queue behind you is now like on a flat plane, even curving over you, but you've been walking forward and straight on a singular plane. It all gets a bit crazy until again. You three are now greeted by this being, this creature, this shape in the void of the doorway. It's almost like it's made of pure stars and energy. This shape that feels there for you to perceive it, but might just be so your mortal mind doesn't melt.
More travelers. What does those who live wish from the halls of the great beyond?
Breton's going to look at Valymr and say, well, if we need to get the queen out of here, this might be your chance to do that.
Yeah, I think so. I would like to go back to the land of the living, if possible.
Which living?
Yeah,
The one I came from?
we knew it as Elendor, if Elendor is specific enough.
Elendor. I see. I know.
In the year of... Hang on. Alright, I can say this actually. In the year... 1,422 years after the Great
Sure.
Summit of...
To your left, you hear a... And where there was nothing, there is a doorway, purple in hue, made of stars, and it's opened up to showcase, and like in it is a black, like ghosty void.
Alright, Breton, good luck finding Ruby. Come on, my queen, we must hurry. No. Offer my hand to her and go through the door.
Be warned.
Oh, I saw Bull.
If your compatriots do not return, and you do not remain with them, you may forget their existence entirely.
So if I go through this door now, I will forget about Breton and Ruby.
If they do not return to the same plane, yes.
Breton, make sure you come to the same plane. Then don't take a detour into the Feywild or anything.
I'll try to remember the name that we gave. It's the equivalent of like, remember where we parked, guys?
Yeah, so mechanically speaking,
G4.
I'm gonna warn you now as a DM out of the story. Mechanically speaking, should you return now, you will return to the plane you came from, as far as you know. If the others do not return, they will have ceased to be, as according to the laws of the world. Every aspect of their impact on your life, on every memory of what they've done, every challenge, will cease and be replaced with other memories. Other creatures will have done certain tasks. If there was a heart-to-heart you had with Breton or Ruby, or if there was a tribulation caused by them, something that happened, will have happened by another means. Are you sure you wish to progress without them?
I feel like knowing that I should probably hold off until we get Ruby back. How long can this door stay open?
I am the journeyman, the layman. I maintain the doors. I keep the gateway. Time matters not.
Fair. Did another living soul pass through here not long ago?
Yes. They proceeded to the chamber of my master.
Of course she did.
Yeah, I was about to say those exact words.
Even though they were warned they may never return, should they be judged accordingly.
Of course she did.
If you're looking at me, I'm surprised she didn't do it sooner. I choose to believe that's canon. I made him laugh.
Same. Making a god laugh.
You ever make it not a timeless entity beyond realm, space, and reason just burst out into laughter?
I need to get it off. It's continuing my laughter, just hearing the laughing. Okay. Yeah, fair. Well done. Yeah. You know what, Brett? Have an extra point of inspiration for that one.
I'm sure it'll come in handy. Oh my goodness.
It's equivalent of what does God need with the starship?
So the way I see it is we have two outcomes, that you go through and we do what we need to do, and either you forget us or you don't go through and you wait for us to potentially come back, and the result is the same. Either we come back or we don't. It doesn't change whether or not you go through the door. Because either we come back or we don't. That doesn't change.
There is only forward. You may not wait here.
See, I was about to ask for a fucking chair.
Yeah, the queue here is astronomical. Don't hold it up.
Like, what you don't realize is that by backing this up in the living world, like, in 500 years, you're going to cause a crisis where the souls aren't allowed to pass into the afterlife, and it is just like it's the next, like, a huge point of another campaign.
Yep.
Traffic jam of the dead.
Some bastards hogging the doorway.
There's just some inexplicable period that lasts like 30 years where souls could not pass over, and the ramifications of that in the world of the living, and it's because we are waiting right here at this door.
I guess with the explanation you just gave, Breton, I feel like I don't think it is a good idea for me to come with you, specifically because we have the Queen to
Someone
try
still has
and
to save the
rescue
world.
Ruby from her hubris. So I am saying, yeah, I'll go through the door with the Queen.
Bren's gonna extend a hand for a handshake.
He'll take it, 100%. I hope I remember you.
And if you don't, we're all still in good hands.
Thank you.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go do something foolish and chase after my fiancée like I've been doing since I was 12 years old.
Good luck.
I don't know if luck has any place here, but I'm certainly going to use it.
Takes Valmyr's luck feat.
I already used all three for
So,
thanks
Valymr,
today.
you're heading to the side door.
The one he just conjured, yeah.
Sure. You take the Queen. You pass through into the void. Okay, Breton.
Breton takes a deep breath and just kind of looks at this figure and says, "So someone else passed through. I would like to go after her."
Then unto you I possess the same warning. You may find yourself unable to return from the beyond. Should your time be valued as complete, you will be judged, you will be received. You will learn. You may struggle to return.
If I go back now, there's nothing to return to. The only way is forward.
Very well. Proceed.
And you proceed into the light. Ruby? Breton. It's like opening your eyes on a warm day. The feeling of hot summer sun, the fresh smells of a garden, the chirping of birds, the silent, vibrant hum of cicadas in the grass. Sweet smells of perfumed flowers and lavender fill your nostrils. You find yourselves in a paradise garden. You feel whole. You do not feel ethereal in any way. And everything feels very familiar. The garden feels like a vibrant amalgamation of every flora and fauna you've ever seen on your wide and varied travels, whether you've been on Solarum or Longreach. You see trees and plants you recognize from all climates, all walks of life. And in front of that, as you lift your head from lying down on a grassy field, you lift your head to see a palace, a tower, spiraling forever. You see Breton. Ruby, you see Breton perhaps 10 feet away from you, also lying in the grass. You're muted.
We're in the apps.
The apps.
It's a paradise garden. Those who dedicated themselves to him end up here.
You do realize what this little trip is going to cost you, right?
She smiles and looks at him. Everything.
More than everything.
And then she'll reach a hand out to him.
If this doesn't work out, it's not like that it's not just that we can't go back. It's that we never were. Everything, every good you did wasn't you.
Beats the alternative.
What alternative is that?
We lose.
Those things aren't mutually exclusive. Valymr went back. You know I couldn't go without you. He's gonna take her hand. So let's go see this through.
Together?
You're not running away anymore.
No. Now I'm going forward. The only way.
Bren, Ruby, you see other people within the garden. People tending to the plants. People, guards on patrol. Other entities. They look as whole as you do.
This reminds me of where Ulfric was. A little bit. Kind of a much bigger version of it.
I think what he was in was an imitation of this.
Yeah.
You've even got dogs, apparently. With a
She's
bone.
wearing a panda snuggie. It's 80 degrees outside, and she's wearing a panda. Okay. Anyway.
Here we don't judge people for what they wear. Sorry.
I'm sorry for leaving you, Brett. At least at that point.
If you think for 1 second I didn't expect this.
That's why I knew you'd come. I always thought the entrance was going to be in the Caliphate somewhere, hidden in a cave.
I say again, we don't know where that first portal took us.
I think I do. But it's not important now. And she'll look around. Is there anything else here other than fields of endless flowers and people patrolling?
No, well, I mean, there's like pergolas. Basically, it's like an endless garden. It looks very, very pretty. There's waterfalls, rivers. There's all like. Imagine the entire Earth was like a Gaia world of landscaped gardens. It's that, and then there's just this spiraling tower, as far like in the distance. It doesn't seem that far away. As you two are talking, actually, eventually, someone spots you and begins to walk over.
Hello.
Hello there. Welcome. Are you cold? You look rather cold.
No?
No.
Oh. I could have sworn you were cold. Please, let me find you a jacket.
I don't need a jacket, thank you.
Oh. Are you new here?
Passing through, but yes.
Oh. I'm not sure anyone's passed through. Can I help you?
Trying to go meet the man in charge.
Trying to meet the man in charge.
She'll point to the spire.
Oh, you want to go to the spire?
Yeah.
Oh, you are cold. Please, receive your judgment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be warm. Feel warm.
Warm has always been a problem for me.
Cold never bothered me anyways.
I'll let it go. Anyway. So are you guys going to progress towards the
Still holding hands.
Inevitable judgment of our immortal souls? Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Why not? I already know where I'm going. Why not play?
Sure. You are greeted with a gateway that leads to this tower. Beyond its green gates, a set of stairs, which I take it you progress through into a chamber. It is a circular chamber with steps leading to a central altar. On top of the altar sits a set of gates. Again, much like the ones you just passed through, only golden. The gates you see are chained with various locks, some of which are broken. The chamber has 9 pillars surrounding it. Beneath the chained gate, you see 3 seats. The right and left seat are occupied, the center seat empty. The 2 seconds. I need to get new information. On the right-hand side, you see a feminine form. Curled behind her backs are angel-like wings, and her face, you see a blindfold. She is clad proudly in armor and holds in front of her a gavel. In the left seat, you see a much darker clad armored figure with a cowl that looks like it's also made of deep black robing or metal into a metal mask that looks like a skull. Their hands and the armor around them fixes so close to their body that it almost looks like they are made of a skeleton of metal. They hold together as well a spear just between their legs. Boom. Down into the ground. And below this altar, between the 2 seats, in front of the central seat, which is unoccupied, you see a set of scales. The entity on the left. I will also say that the scale of this is immense. The entities on the right and left, inhumanly large, but still perceive them almost at the same as you.
The Alice in Wonderland effect, where like you are incapable of understanding the true size of something, other than just that the immensity, like you can perceive it,
yes,
but the immensity of it is beyond scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's exactly.
I am a fingernail to some of these things.
Yeah.
Which means if I try to yell up at them, they're just going to hear nothing. What?
You feel within your minds.
Still holding Breton's hand.
Why does one who is not without time remaining step foot in the halls of judgment?
She'll look towards Breton for a moment.
Breton just looks at her. You stepped first.
And she'll look up. We are from Elendor, the realm where the Keeper resided.
I know who you are. I know where you're from. I merely ask why one such as yourself would face us. When facing us and being judged.
Because I think my world is worth saving.
We all think your world is worth saving. That's why we've saved it. All I wish to know is one question. How do you think I will judge you?
I've never been perfect. I've never admitted to being so. But everything I have done to make my life and the lives of those around me better. To use my power to uplift others to a better world. So is he, and she'll look towards Breton.
His time will come.
We are here because Elendor is in grave danger. And we are running out of time and options. The places we need to go, we can't go. The people we need to save are so busy fighting amongst themselves for their own ambition that I don't know what else to do. So I am here pleading for an answer to a question I have nothing for. What do I do? What must I do? If you couldn't save the world then, what can we do now?
You perceive that the world is not already saved, or that the world is not already lost. There is only one answer to what you must do. And we all trust that you know what that is. I do find it curious that one as complicated as you would risk it all in order to just understand what has been in front of you the entire time. Heavy is your soul.
Been through a lot.
A soul that is long overdue its reaping. You were prevented from passing through these gates once before. Our will, our collective self, plus other interference, called you back. Anrayne Sunderstar. If you can't answer already what needs to be done, then maybe we have put too much faith in you. And we should try another tactic. So, answer me this. What that is left is worth saving?
Lands that stretch on forever. Skies one could drown in. A heartbeat of nature, silent yet strong. And amidst it all, a people. Beacons of light and life. Laughter that warmed my heart like naught else before. They are my meaning and my purpose, my love. In spite of, or perhaps because of this, I choose to believe in mankind's potential, in his ability to find a way forward. That is my answer.
You feel the entire room shift. And the scales in the center begin to tilt. Left, right, left. Or they balance. Whilst you speak in ideals, I detect a hint of nobility. Not the mundane use of the word. The ideological.
Always wanted to be a hero.
You don't know the meaning of the word. Lady Sunderstar, beyond all that is reasonable, it has been deemed a worthy risk to let you return for a third time. I cannot promise you more. Before you go. The lady, Caphriel, will answer but one question. It is the most we can do.
Was it worth it?
The feminine form turns. Lady Sunderstar, it will do you no use to speak in vagaries or riddles with us. Was everything we fought for worth it? Always. Is every judgment worth it? Always. Is destroying what is evil worth it? Always. Is protecting everything that is known, that you know, that we know and could be, worth it? Always.
Was it worth giving up what you were to be what you are?
With every unending and unyielding moment that passes and fleets, every decision that we have made has been worth every second, every mortal life that has had the honor of standing where you stand. Yes, everything we have done has been worth it.
And I'm going to honor your words and your legacy and ensure that it keeps on happening.
The Osmus, the individual on the left, speaks again. Then we grant you the ability to return once more. Breton, step forward.
I guess they awkwardly change positions.
She can be stood next to you if needs be.
She'll take his hand.
You heard every word. bequeathed to your beloved. And I ask you but one question. What is there that is left that is worth saving?
What was there when the first mortal made their first choice? What was there when the first rock was thrown, the first blade was swung? What was there when the first battle was fought for everything that we have now? The thing that will always be there to fight for. A dream. A dream that what we have now, no matter what it is, could always be something more. Something will try to take it away, something will try to erode at it, but it can be better. It can be shaped, it can be pressed on. That dream does not have to end. The thing that's worth continuing to fight for is that the dream continues.
Instead of Osmus, Caphriel speaks up. Then you understand the gift they gave in its entirety. There is no greater beauty than freedom. And if it means servitude for some, so that mortality keeps its freedom in safety without divine interference. Then you understand why we can't come back. Why they do not sit between us. What they are holding back for you. Osmus speaks up again. This will be the last we can interfere until it is resolved. It has begun, and you shall return to it. Breton, as you stand in the court of judgment, with your soul on the line, you see but one thing. The locks on the divine gate in front of you. Chink, chink, us all unlock bar one. Go now. Finish this one way or the other. Do not force our hands. If we are forced to return, many will lose their freedoms. Many will perish and falter. Till balance can be restored.
Back we need to go. The sooner the better.
Very well. In front of the altar, a doorway appears, much like the one that was brought to Valymr.
Breton very much like pulls Ruby ahead of him as he like moves to go through.
Tell him Ulfric says hello. He misses his friend.
We miss our friend too.
Even the gods haven't seen him.
And you proceed. Valymr, Breton, Ruby. You all find yourselves in a large chamber, hewn with stone. Sitting in the center of the chamber, great sword, plunged into the stone, leaning, resting on it, is what looks to be an ancient knight. All of you appear next to each other.
Queen with us?
Like nothing has happened, but about 20 foot away, drapes in what seems to be like moonlight, is this silvered knight.
The missing Chevaliant?
Does it seem hostile? Sorry, I haven't spoken for a while, so
It's
my
okay,
voice
buddy.
has deteriorated again.
You're totally fine. It hasn't seen you, seemingly. It's like away from you. Imagine it's like that sort of angle at you. Sorry, for those listening, I just turned around and kind of hunched slightly.
Question. When I came out of my door with the queen, did these guys appear basically instantly at the same time? Okay.
Yes. No time.
I'm going to turn to Breton and say, "Who are you?"
I was gonna say, isn't it awkward when you say goodbye and then you end up walking the same way?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long it was for you, but that was literally like 12 seconds ago.
It felt like a lot longer, but not at all.
Glad you got yourselves out of there.
Still have things to do here. Or wherever Pier is. Where are
Speaking
we?
of here, who dat? Can
the
I do a
Queen Consort
divine
is
sense?
currently fumbling a holy symbol and muttering under her breath.
Is that
Can I do a divine sense?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it?
I wonder if that's the missing Trilliant. Seen wandering around.
Is it celestial fiend or undead?
Oh, heavily undead.
Oh, never mind.
Glaive comes out. It's undead.
I don't have any spells left.
So was the missing knight, if memory serves. Because his whole thing is that he was risen from the grave to maintain his oath.
What was his oath?
It was to... Fuck, this is...
It was to fuck?
I should remember this.
We gotta get out of here then.
He would ride in order to find the blade, if the blade ever went missing. He was the oath keeper of it. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Which, by the way, every seal but one just broke.
I'm sorry, did what now?
Yeah.
There's only one seal left.
As in the seals? The seals?
Yeah,
yes.
The seals.
What
Like, all of them just broke. All but one. The Night's Shadow is upon us.
Okay, what seals do we know about that we know are not broken then?
There's only one seal left, and it all makes sense now. The ninth seal speaks of the king that never was having to walk Elendor again.
Yeah.
And the way that the gods spoke, it surprises me that none of us considered it before. We keep looking to the gods for the answers, and the gods have kept telling us the same thing. They can't get involved, because them getting involved is the breaking of the ninth seal. We have to do this ourselves. They can't help us, because them helping us is what ends the world.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah. It's always been us. Well, let's go say hello.
To which way Brett will turn to Lady Alora and say, I apologize for how heavy all of this has been. I assure you we will return you towards the keep. Happy, hale, and healthy. Everything will be fine.
Could probably send her home right now. I do have that capacity, but if we want to talk to this guy first?
But you're out of spells.
I have a 7th left. I've been holding on to it.
I mean... Lady... Queen, sorry. Alora? Do you know whereabouts we are? Are we in the keep still?
She's processing a lot. She just... I don't know where we are. I don't know where I've been.
Do you know who took you?
He did.
He is in the undead guy in front of us?
And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Right.
So, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. All I've got left to do is to thank the people who have been here. So, thank you to Lord Lambert, to DM Lake, and to Bethany Rose. I've been Midgeman. We'll be back next week with more The Elendor Chronicles. Bit of a trippy one tonight. I apologize for that. Or maybe I don't. I really don't. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Be sure to be here tomorrow, though, for more of Belgarde Goodbye. It's looking really, really fun. And I can't wait to join that cast myself. Anyway, see you all around. Till next time. Bye-bye now.
Toodaloo.